Alright, hello and welcome to the video, guys. So we're going to be looking at heavies today. I had a request to play some heavies. So I'm going ahead and logging onto my old account. I do have the T29 still. This is really one of the best heavies in my opinion. Even after they nerfed it, I still like it. I haven't actually played it yet, but I still think it is pretty powerful at tier 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the T29. I'm going to show you how I have it set up. If I die early, we'll play the VK100, which is basically a video I just did, and we talked about really the angling on this vehicle. So what I'm going to do is we're going to play the T29, and I will talk about the setup if we die early on the VK, because I did that in the previous video. The way I have this thing set up is I actually run Brothers in Arms on my crew right now, and then I have pretty much your standard loadout. I do have concealment down here. I could change this to like intuition, but we're running repairs, and then we have, you know, the snapshot and smooth ride and your standard loadout. So I'm running vents in the survivability slot, they call it, and then I have the vent purge on. We have V-stab and we have optics, and optics is getting us 448 view range. I like running it with optics. I feel like it's really, I'm not going to say necessary. I was going to say necessary, but I feel like it's better to run it this way. This way you're getting some spotting damage, and it adds to your combined score. So again, keep in mind we're on my old account, so I wouldn't go crazy at looking at my carousel. We don't really have any tanks down here, but do not be concerned. This is an account that I haven't played on in years, really. Occasionally, rarely, I'll go back to it to play something like the T95 or something like that to do a video for you guys, but that's it. So let's go ahead and play this vehicle. I noticed the DPM was definitely nerfed. I don't think the DPM was ever this bad. Dispersion and aiming time still seem like okay. But we're going to see if we can make it work. So 448 view range, that's actually good for a tier 7 heavy with optics. And nothing really more to say about this, guys. I think we'll see if this thing is still going to work, but I noticed the DPM is now like really bad. I don't know how much they nerfed the DPM, but I do not remember it being that bad. And you know, we could run rammer instead of optics, but I kind of like running the optics just for that extra view range, because really with the T29 I feel like you're not a front line kind of heavy. You want to stick to the hold down positions, and really you're a support vehicle. So with the VK100 you're more in the front lines, and I would say you can be a support vehicle if your entire team is pushing, but if things are progressing very slowly in a tank like the VK, you're on the front lines, and you are playing pretty much as like a moving bunker. That's really what you are. I mean, that thing can take so much damage, whereas the T29 can't. So these are two, you know, kind of different heavies. So this is why I'm telling you, if we do happen to die early, which can happen in heavies, I want to play the VK100 to kind of show you guys how it can be different, because in the T29 it's very hard to side scrape. You can do it, but I don't really recommend it. Alright, so we're in tier, looks like 6, 7, 8 matchmaking, and we're going to be on Fords. And this is a decent map. There is a decent hold down location, I believe. I have XVM loaded on this account, but I definitely have I think I have it by like WTR rating or something like that. I'm not even sure. Yeah, it must be. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to I'll call this the south, to the heavy line, and I'm going to kind of show you guys how I manage this vehicle in something like tier 8 matchmaking, because we are going to be against, you know, some of these stronger heavy tanks. So I feel like for some reason these headphones are starting to go. I feel like it's louder in my left ear than it is in the right, but could just be me. I don't know. So I'm going to load APCRs in case we see, like, you know, the Tiger 2 come around the corner or something like that. I would really don't want to see that, but they're going to be here. I know it. So here's E75. And with this vehicle, usually what you can do is, you know, the the tank is effective enough where, and look at this, like see this shot, guys. This is incredible that someone is able to hit this shot, right? So we're gonna go for a shot on the IS-2, and this is where this tank can be pretty effective, is if you stay hold down with it. That guy got a pretty dang lucky shot, I have to be honest. You know, that's very rare in my opinion to get a shot in here. I'll try and get him to take another one, maybe. It's really just me and the Lova here, so. Okay. And yeah, we are just trying to, I don't even know if you can penetrate this hatch. So, you know, very difficult kind of start here. We just have to look for the right opportunities to try and hit these guys. Lova's in a decent position, but this already does have shots on him, which kind of sucks. Okay. Can probably get a first shot opportunity now on this guy. Let's see. And yeah, this is unfortunate, guys. I just don't think we can really do much against these vehicles. I'm trying my best, but it's not always easy. Okay, there we go, a shot into the T29, and it looks like the Lova is behind me. I would rather him be in front of me at this point. And we're going to try and run from here while I still can. Yeah, this isn't going to work.
Enemy hit.
Oh my gosh, man. Okay, so that's all we can really do, guys. I mean, I did my best there, but we got really pushed very hard there, and I don't think the Lova was really doing much to these guys. But in the situation we were in, right, like IS-2 wasn't really poking, T29 was there, he overextended. E75, you can't really beat this vehicle hold down. You know, we did our best, these guys were picking at my cap. What we could have probably done is played this from maybe here instead, but in this kind of matchmaking, like when you're against an E75 TS, like heavies are not easy, man. If you face a tank that's realistically stronger than you, like it could be very, very difficult to play as a heavy tank. So really, where heavies perform well is when they are matched up evenly, when you are matched up against another tier 7. So if I was facing the T29 there, this might have been a more enjoyable game, but we did what we could, right? It was literally just me and the Lova there, so this team wasn't the best. It looks like they've pretty much won everywhere else, but we did get 3 shots off there, and yeah, to talk about the very end there, like, it was amazing that I couldn't get past, like, all I was trying to do was keep moving the tank back a little bit. Luckily, we bounced a few shots, and I was able to get one more off. But right here, the way this rock is shaped, like, I just couldn't get the right angle to pull back here. I wanted to end up, like, around this area so that we can, you know, get back, maybe stay a little, hold down a little bit longer. But yeah, it's unfortunate, guys. From this kind of close range, it's pretty difficult to have a good game if people are just going to keep picking apart the top of your vehicle. And you can see these, well, you can't see it because of the camera, but you can see, I can see that the T29 was shooting APCRs, the IS-2 was shooting heat, and the E75 was shooting APCRs. All 3 of these guys were shooting gold rounds at me towards the end. So just kind of goes to show, like, when people shoot gold, you're kind of SOL, right? And just there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, we were also shooting APCRs, but you can see the shots we had in the E75 TS, they just were not there, right? And there's not much you can really do about that. So still missed. So we blocked 1,500 damage, which actually isn't that bad, but we're just going to wait for this guy to die or for them to cap out, and then we'll get into another game with this vehicle. I could go in the VK, but I feel like this isn't taking too long, so we'll stay here. We'll play the T29 again, and maybe we can get into a slightly better position. Because, yeah, I don't think this map really emphasizes the strengths of the T29. I think the T29 plays very well hold down from more of a distance. Like, we could have even tried to play in this area, but to me, like, every time I go in a heavy, I'm usually playing the south, right? That's just kind of how I play. So, but 3 shots of damage, I mean, it is what it is. I never play heavies, so it's a bad performance for me still. Like, I would like to have a better score than that, but against, like I said, against E75 TS, like, that was our main opponent, and just brutal, man. So you do what you can, guys, but I think we needed a little more help there. All right, let's go again. And let's see what we can do on this map. This is tier 8 matchmaking again. And this is the thing, guys, is you have to remember that this is a tier 7 heavy. So while it is good hold down, like, tier 8s have a lot more pen and stuff like that, so you have to be mindful of this. This is a tier 7 heavy. So when you are basing your opinions on a vehicle, you want to base them on when you are top tier, or going tier for tier, right? Like, if I'm going against 53 TP, 112, like, these really aren't even matchups in my opinion. So, although that's probably who we will be against. I'm thinking that with this vehicle, it's better to probably go to the 1 line. The good thing about the T29 is that it actually has some mobility to it, so you can kind of get away with making a play like going up to the 1 line. I'm going to assume that probably 53 TP and 112 might go to the 0 line. We'll see. Look at this guy. I can't help him, man. I'm not going out in the open. Looks like he got it though. And if I recall, I remember the pen not being very good on this vehicle. At least not on the standards. 198. Actually, it's not terrible. But the APCRs are really very effective on this vehicle, because they're way higher than the APs, in my opinion. Okay. And this is the thing that I talk about mobility, guys. Like, in World of Tanks, like, mobility is so huge. Like, we would have already been here, and this fight would have been, you know, much easier if... Okay, here we go. This fight would have been much easier if we had a little bit more mobility, right? So... Going after the Poodle because it seems like the easier option here. Kind of angling a little bit. But we're definitely going to lose this line, there's no doubt about it. Artie's targeting me. Rough, man. Really should be able to pen this guy's cap, honestly. I'm trying to get a slightly different angle on this guy. I'm watching the Type 59. This Artie, man. This Artie is freaking annoying as all hell. Okay. So we got one more shot off there. We did 1,054 damage, 103 assist, and yeah, man, like, these games are just not looking good for this vehicle. I think we're doing all right. It's just we're getting outmatched by better vehicles, and you know, I had already lost 223, you know, hit points getting here, and then we got hit by the Artie quite a number of times. It looks like he hit me 3 times for about 100 70 damage on average each time. So we lost like a third of our hit points to the Artie. And yeah, guys, I mean, playing a heavy, sometimes you have to be aware of like where Arties are and stuff. Like, look at our IS-3 too. Like, our IS-3, I don't know why he's sitting all the way back here. Like, in my opinion, he should either be over here or over here to help us. And maybe if I had a little more support, we could have done a little better there. I was mad that Artie kept targeting me. But like this is what happens when you play heavy tanks, guys. So let's back out of this game. We'll play a game in the VK100. We'll probably come back to the T29, and hopefully we can get into, you know, a game where I'm not really outmatched. Because the thing with heavies is like everything is a brawl, right? That's the difference between playing heavies and most other vehicles. TDs, you're just kind of camping. Light tanks, you usually don't pick a fight with anyone. You use angles, and you use, you know, just getting around to people's sides and flanking and stuff like that to do damage. But with heavies, everything is like sometimes a one-on-one battle, sometimes a two-on-two. You know what I mean? It's always brawling, though. So you have to kind of be good in that aspect of knowing exactly how to angle your tank and knowing the right positions and stuff like that. So for me, with the T29, like, I guess we could have been a little more defensive in both of those games. It's possible, but that's just not how I think heavy should be played, in my opinion. So I'm usually always mostly on the front lines, right? But it really depends on the positioning. Like some of these maps, they require you to be much closer. Whereas on a map like maybe Prokhorovka, you could be holed down from several hundred meters away and still have an effective game, right? So this tank is an entirely different beast, and I know you guys saw me loading APCRs with the T29 both times. Really, this is just because I'm outmatched, right? Like, if I'm going to be going up against a tier 8 heavy as a tier 7 heavy, I'm going to load the APCRs almost every time. Because like I said, everything is a brawl when it comes to heavies. So you really want every advantage you can get, right? So that's why I load them. You can say what you want about this, but that's how I feel about it. I would really think that we're probably going to lose the 9-0 just seeing these 3 heavies. Yeah, it's likely going to be the case. And we have a lot of people in the city, but there's really not much I can do about this. Like, I don't want to take this thing to the 9-0. I don't think it's made for the 9-0 line. So if we have to, we'll probably defend the base from the city. Yeah, and this is the thing with this vehicle, guys, is it's very, very slow. So you really have to... like, running turbo would almost be a decent option, right? Let's see if I take a shot here. I'm looking to see where, like, their TDs are sitting and stuff like that. Okay, there's T95. Take a shot at this guy. Oh. Need this guy to spot. Let's go for the Hawk. Okay. And yeah, this is just like playing these tanks, man. I'm just not the best with these like slow vehicles, guys. They just feel very, very clunky to me. I'd much rather play a light, but all these guys are going to run in and get wrecked. There's the SU-130. Could have loaded an HE, but... okay. What I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go back towards the base. Hoping I don't take a shot in the ass while I'm doing this. And if we can get some spotting assistance, what I'll do here is kind of use one of these buildings to kind of cover myself up, and then yeah, tough games, guys, man. I mean, these are really like, these are tough games. I'm gonna knock all this crap down. I'm hoping someone can do some spotting here. Load APCRs. And right now we're just defending the base, right? This is all I want to do, guys. Just defend the base. Okay. And yeah, we're just sitting, I mean, heavies are pretty easy to talk through, guys. That I can tell you with certainty. It's very easy to kind of get bored in playing these vehicles. And this is why I prefer to do live matches with lights, because there's just nothing to talk about when you play heavies, right? I mean, it's just so simple what I'm doing here. I don't really need to explain anything other than the fact that I'm just trying to defend the base, you know, without overextending. So E75. Okay. I'm about to get pushed. Trying to find one more shot at the E75. Okay. T29 is coming up behind me. We're going to focus the E75. I was trying to get one more shot there, but that's alright. We did 2,300 damage, and yeah, this is the thing with heavies, guys. Is like these tanks are just, they're not easy to play, man. What you really need is a game that lasts a very long time, and you need the right map, right? Like with lights, you can be very flexible, even if there's a lot of bad maps for lights. It's easy to be flexible with light tanks because of the mobility, but with heavies, you're really drawn to one side of the map, and you just have to do the best you can, right? So we do 2315 damage there. That's not bad. This tank can really bully the crap out of people much more than the T29 can, in my opinion. But we're going to go play the T29 again, and right now we're averaging, looks like only 984 damage in the T29. So I would hope to get that score up, but again, these tanks, they're not the easiest, guys. They're really not the easiest. So here we have tier 5, 6, 7 matchmaking, and I would hope that can get a better game out of this. So let's see. In the T29, I'm thinking we can probably take a spot like this, maybe. We'll see how that works. Because a lot of people can come up here. You can hold down, if you can see where my cursor is, and that's like right here on the map, like EF5. You can come up to this corner. I don't know why this guy is deciding which way I'm going, but you can kind of make this work if you sit here, but I feel like it's just a very boring game if you sit there. So I prefer not to do that. Yeah. But anyway, guys, this is why I don't really play heavies. It's just when you're a decent player and you know like all the good spots, you know, you're good with maps and stuff like that. To me, it's just I feel the best and the most comfortable in light tanks because I know the game well and I know like how to be flexible and stuff like that. Wow, look at that shot. That was pretty incredible. But I feel like if you're a good player, you're really, in my eyes, going to be the best in light tanks because you know places to go, you know angles to create, right? And it's really the easiest to do that in a tank that has the most mobility. So, okay. So depending on what we see over here, like the problem is M4 could easily flank us, so I want to be cautious of that. But usually when you make a play like this, yeah, this M4 is going to be, it's questionable with the M4 sitting here, okay? AMX is here. Let's put a shot into this guy. M4 is coming around the corner. We're going to get hold down. Clean up the AMX. And yeah, this position is not really going to work with the M4 there, because this guy can clip me out quite easily, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do instead is I can kind of try and take the position that the Skoda's taking. Sort of. Like if I poke up like this, I just want to stay safe from the TDs. You want to watch this hill. So that's really the main thing. He's getting shots in the VK. I'm kind of getting the spotting for it, so that's fine. Okay. M4 might try and come around this corner, so I want to be cautious of that. I want to be hold down if he does do that. We're kind of losing this whole thing here. I'm not too happy about that. Okay, M4 is losing a lot of HP. These guys are now pushing around this way. So we're going to have to deal with one thing or the other, really, at this point. And this is where I would love to be in a light tank, guys, because I would have already repositioned, right? But you just can't do that in these vehicles. So I'm going to hope these TD now. They're not going to be able to hold these guys. Okay. There's VK. We're going to see if we can get this guy in the cat, maybe. Turtle work too. That's good. And yeah, you guys can kind of see the way I'm playing this. Hellcat should have already had shots on me if he was being aware, right? But he wasn't. So I kind of lucked out there, but we're in a crossfire basically at this point. So what I'm going to do now is I think it's time to... These guys are pushing up, right? I'm watching these guys push up and I'm noticing where the M4A1 is. So I'm going to take this fight with the M4A3 because I know that this fight, like I am easily outmatching this guy in this fight, right? So I'm just going to kind of face my turret towards him, try and angle my hull a little bit. Okay. And now we just want to be cautious again of this hill, right? But it's really just probably Stug and Semavente that are over there. So I'm going to come up now. These guys have cleared the M4A1. And I'm going to sit right around this area, and we can still kind of stay hold down from here. Maybe not. I think this is a little higher than I thought it was. But we'll have shots at the Wolverine, likely. Okay. Get some spotting damage there in the Semavente. Okay, he's dead. Now we're just waiting to see if the Stug is going to appear. I'd like to think he's here, but I mean, there's always a chance he could be like back here. Who knows? Panzer's going to drown himself. That's nice. T29, what are you doing? I don't know why this guy asked me what I was doing. I feel like I'm playing pretty well. I don't know. Maybe not. Alright, so that's the game. So we did 1789 damage, 1045 spotting or assist, and this is kind of how you can make this tank work, right guys? I mean, this still wasn't the greatest map maybe for this tank, but we took hardly any damage, right? And I think we played it well. Like, I am not good in heavies at all, so you have to understand that. Like, I don't play heavies because they're just not flexible, right? There's a lot of people that are going to be better in heavies than I am, but I think we were able to kind of balance out our overall score there with this vehicle. So after 3 battles, guys, we did 1,252 damage and 382 assist damage. So that's getting us like 1,600 combined in the T29. And with the one game with the VK100, we did 2315 damage and it was like 200 something assists. So this is like 20. We'll just round up and say 2,600 combined, but it's more like 2,500 combined, right? So I don't think that's bad at all. I really don't play heavies much at all, so I'm pretty happy with this performance. What I'm going to do is end this video here, and we're going to play the VK100 instead, and then play the T29 if I die early in the VK. So we're just going to flip-flop them, and then this way you guys are seeing 2 full videos of both of these vehicles, right? And kind of how they differ, but how they also both work very well depending on your situation, right? So that's it, guys. T29 and 1 game in the VK. Hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you for the next video. Take care. Bye-bye now.